Wife-husband found out she fell completely out of being in love with me. She started talking to a female co-worker and fell for her in a month. We have 2 toddlers. Confronted her after seeing messages. And admitted it. Said she cared about me but was not in love anymore. I said I wanted to try and fix things, but she asked if she should sacrifice her happiness. She said she wanted to leave but couldn't financially cause it would be uncomfortable, and then there's me and the kids and how much they love me. She told the other woman she wanted to leave me that day and was cut off by her, and tried to call her back same day 14 times to save it. Said she is no longer talking to her but changed the password on phone, and I can clearly see the call logs on Bill. She still is. Have first marriage counselling together Friday, and she said she would do it because the list of pros and cons was equal and she would be financially unable to move and that she had no commitments to it working. Meanwhile she's lying about see this woman and occasionally gives a hug or peck. Saying we have to be slow in her trying to fall in love again. I'm going to confront her this Friday with the counsellor, and meanwhile I'm dying as I see the call logs day by day. And I'm not sure if I should say we should separate and eventually get a divorce. At one point she told me it would be easier if I said I wanted to separate too. We both don't like the divorce word but seems inevitable, or if she develops a shock that I'm suddenly also open to split and wants to work it out if I should try for the kids RK. She's already lied to me about not talking to her and won't leave her job cause it would be a big pay cut. I feel like a financial security net. She's a great mom, but I can't trust her anytime soon. Part of me feels like if she tried it would be because she doesn't want to struggle financially mostly. And I still love her. Do I sacrifice my happiness and hers for our kids? Worst part is I told my dad who just moved in with us, and she loves him too, but we said we would not tell him. I was dying inside and had to. He also was there when I discovered the messages. Am I stupid if I stay with her? Update: we sat down with the counsellor, and she admitted she was still talking to her and seeked her out after the initial breakup that lasted probably less than 3 days, I bet. I said I wanted to separate and will probably get divorced later. She agreed that she doesn't think she can get back the feelings / doesn't know how she can get back her love with me. She admitted to barely knowing the girl and is still in the early nervous and butterfly stages, which killed me further. I told her about how disrespectful it was of her to basically play me, the security net feeling I had, that she took a flamethrower to the little trust that I knew was stupid at the time, and said it aloud to give her again after she said it was over. She told the counsellor I was a good man and felt guilty for hurting me through tears. She mentioned how her expectations as a father were let down because I would say things like I get bored while playing with the baby and didn't last long 3 years ago, and I couldn't wait till she could walk or eat alone. Said that I wanted to rush through it and not enjoy it. She had told it bothered at the time, and I stopped saying it, but it stuck and festered, and she did talk about it. And apparently sometime after the baby was born, when we tried to be intimate, there's something that bothered her and she told me to stop, and I did, but I don't know what it was now. But she admitted she never really put emphasis on the things that bothered her in a lot of cases. Just touched on them. Thanks for watching, subscribe and like, and now next story. Intuition led me to catch my cheating BF. Long story short. Me, 28, and ex, 32, had a long-distance relationship after we met online, and Earl. However, he moved abroad because or a new job opportunity, so that's why we became LDR from the get-go. We were in a serious relationship that his mother was involved because we talked about marriage. Due to cultural reasons, we have had our ups and downs during our relationship, but lately downs because I felt he was pulling away and being all hot and cold. During this period I started to have a bad feeling, and my intuition led me to reactivate my dating app, and he has updated his profile there. Instead of bringing it up, I tried to make us delete our profiles completely from that app as couples task/activity, but he refused and said he don't use it and he forgot his password. Yes, I knew he was lying. I proceed to say I have a bad feeling, and he went ballistic and angry and just clicked on me in the phone call and refused to answer my calls. After a while he calmed down and we talked. A couple of days after that incident I had such a bad gut feeling and my intuition just made me contact a girl that was a common friend on a social media app. We texted and I asked who he was to her. She insisted on just being his friend, but after a while she confessed that he talked to her as if he's single and stated he's single. She also confessed that she told him I have contacted her and he was attacking her and became angry at me and her. He called me names and said hurtful things to her about me. The girl told me everything and even shared screenshots and dates. So he has been cheating with her and promised her the same things, and the talk are so similar to how he pursued me, talked about coming to meet the family and want her for marriage. Within a couple of minutes he called me and sounded suppressed, angry and irritated. Just asked me if I've some time to say. And it went back and forth because I asked him why he's calling and if he wanted to say something. He just stated I've done crazy, meaning I contacted the girl, but never said what I did and just broke up with me, no explaining, nothing, and just short. During our relationship there was no intentionally hurtful comments or hate from both of us for him to block me. After the call, instantly he blocked me on all social medias. I'm still in shock but trying to heal. I didn't see this coming, thinking he must be mature because of his age. I guess I dodged a bullet and a person that wasn't ready. I still don't know why he reacted that way. Any thoughts to help me understand? Thanks for watching, subscribe and like. And now next story. The gift, almost a dad. He stared at the papers in front of him, feeling a lump in his throat. He knew this was the end of his marriage, the end of his family, the end of his happiness. He picked up the pen and signed his name, sealing his fate. He looked up at his wife, who was sitting across the table, her face expressionless. She did not say a word, just nodded and took the papers from him. She put them in her purse and got up to leave. He wanted to say something, anything to bring back the good times, to make her change her mind, to be a family again. But he knew it was useless. She had made up her mind a long time ago. She had moved on with her life, with someone else. He felt a surge of anger and pain, remembering how it all started. The letter. He was in 3rd grade when he found the letter on his desk. It was a simple note, written in pink crayon, with a question that would change his life. Will you date me? From your secret admirer. Yes or no? He looked around the classroom, wondering who could have left it there. He felt a surge of curiosity and excitement, mixed with a bit of fear. He had never dated anyone before. He didn't even know what it meant. He glanced at his best friend, who was sitting next to him. His friend gave him a wink and a thumbs up, and whispered, "It's from her." He pointed to a girl across the room, who was looking at him with a shy smile. She had long brown hair and bright green eyes. He recognized her as the girl who always sat in the front row and answered all the questions. He had never talked to her, but he thought she was pretty and smart. He felt his face turn red as he looked at her. She quickly looked away, but not before he saw her blush too. He felt a warm feeling in his chest and wondered if this was what love felt like. He picked up the letter and marked yes with his pencil. He folded it back and waited for the bell to ring. He wanted to give it back to her, but he didn't know how. He was too nervous to approach her, and he didn't want anyone else to see. The bell rang, and he quickly stuffed the letter in his pocket. He grabbed his backpack and followed his friend out of the classroom. He hoped to see her in the hallway, but he didn't. He wondered where she went, and if she would wait for him. He didn't have to wait long. The next day, he found another letter on his desk. It was from her again, and it said, "I'm so happy you said yes. Meet me after school by the computer room. I have something for you." He felt his heart skip a beat. He couldn't believe she wanted to meet him. He wondered what she had for him. He hoped it was something nice, like a candy or a flower. He decided to bring something for her too. He remembered his mother had a ring that she never wore. It was a gold band with a small diamond. He thought it was beautiful, and he thought she would like it too. He took it from his mother's jewelry box and put it in his pocket. He spent the whole day thinking about her. He couldn't concentrate on anything else. He kept looking at the clock, counting the minutes until school was over. He wanted to see her, to talk to her, to hold her hand. He wanted to tell her how he felt, and to hear her say the same. Finally, the last bell rang. He ran out of the classroom, leaving his friend behind. He didn't care about anything else. He only cared about her. He reached the computer room and saw her waiting for him. She was wearing a pink dress and a matching bow in her hair. She looked like a princess, and he felt like a prince. She smiled when she saw him and ran towards him. She hugged him and kissed him on the cheek. He hugged her back and kissed her on the lips. He felt a spark, and he knew she felt it too. They pulled away and looked into each other's eyes. They didn't need words. They knew what they wanted to say. He reached into his pocket and took out the ring. He held it in front of her and said, "Will you marry me?" She gasped and nodded. She took the ring and put it on her finger. It fit perfectly. She held up her hand and said, "Yes, I will." They hugged and kissed again, and then walked hand in hand to the music class. They didn't care about anything else. They only cared about each other. They were in love, and they were happy. That was the start of an extraordinary journey that lasted for many years. They grew up together, went to the same school, graduated, went their separate ways. She had twins. He got paralyzed, which are separate stories that intertwine. 15 years later got married, and she had told him she was pregnant, scared and excited, not knowing what to do. How he had hugged her and kissed her, feeling a flicker of hope in his heart. All this time, he had ignored the nagging doubt in his mind, the one that told him it was impossible to be his biological child. He was paralyzed from the chest down, a result of an ATV accident that had shattered his spine and his dreams. He could not have children, he could not make love, he could not be a real husband. He knew his wife loved him, but he also knew she wanted a family, a normal life. He wanted to give her that, but he could not. So he agreed to her plan, her crazy, desperate plan. She had a one-night stand to be their sperm donor. She had said it was the only way, the best way, the gift they needed. He had hesitated, but he had given in. He loved her too much to say no. He had hoped it would work, that it would bring them closer, that it would make them happy. He had hoped it would be their secret, their miracle, their gift. But it was not a happy ever after. It was not the blessing for their marriage they wanted. The feelings of inadequacy tore them apart. Acts of lust are what destroyed their trust. He found out the truth when their daughter was born. She had his wife's eyes, his wife's smile, his wife's ears. But she also had something else, something that did not belong to him. Something that belonged to the friend, the donor, the lover. She had his glow. A beautiful glow, just like his. A glow that he had seen several times before and now sees it every time he looked at his daughter. He confessed he knew all along. She had been having an affair with him the whole time, before and after the pregnancy. She had used him to not just to get pregnant, but she had a secret: she loved sex. She had betrayed him, destroyed his trust. She loved the one thing he could not provide. He was devastated, heartbroken, furious. He wanted to leave her, to divorce her, to forget her. But he could not. He could not, because of her. Because of his daughter. She was not his biological child, he had to admit. But in his heart, he knew and felt she was his baby girl. He loved her more than anything in the world. She was the best thing in his life, he never regretted it. He fought for her, he fought hard. He hired a lawyer, he went to court, he gave everything to his wife. He lost his wife and he lost his daughter. She kept his daughter, and she raised her. She raised her with love, with care, with pride. She taught her how to read, how to write, and how to be an amazing human being. He watched her grow, he watched her smile, he watched her shine. He watched her become her life. He watched her become her gift. He was always a part of her life. He will always love her. She is his heart.